This is the Grow Your Clinic podcast from Clinic Mastery. We help progressive health professionals to lead inspired teams, transform client experiences, and build clinics for good. Now, it's time to grow your clinic.
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Grow Your Clinic podcast. I'm your host, Jack O'Brien. Thank you so much for joining us as we talk about the 26 tips and steps to help you amplify your impact and boost your cash flow. We know that cash is like oxygen. Without it, your clinic will not survive. And you may have a number of sound elements operating in your clinic, but we know that if you don't have cash and you can't pay your bills, you'll go out of business. And no one wants that. And the good news is that we've got some fantastic strategies for you to implement to boost your cash flow. So let's get right to it. We talk about the C.R.E.A.T.E cash flow methodology. And C.R.E.A.T.E is an acronym, 6 letters, C.R.E.A.T.E. And in a previous episode, we unpacked the C and the R, the cash allocation strategy and the revenue strategies. And so today we're going to unpack the E and the A, C.R.E.A.T.E. And so today we're going to be talking about expense efficiency for the E. And when it comes to the A, your accounts receivable and accounts payable, and how we can optimize those. So I want to dive straight in. Now, by the way, at the top, if you want any of the resources that are mentioned today, you can head to clinicmastery.com/podcast and find everything that you need there, all the downloads, show notes. You can get in touch. You can do the Assess Your Clinic scorecard. Or if you want to skip the queue, get straight to it, and you're like, I need help, I'd love some personalized strategy, you can get in touch with me, jack@clinicmastery.com. There's a human on the other end, and we can help provide you, we can brainstorm some opportunities and give you some strategies to help you with your cash flow. So let's dive in. E and A, expenses and accounts. Now, hopefully you're well caffeinated. If you haven't picked up already, I am absolutely charged and excited to be helping you with these strategies today that our team at CM has put together. So, expenses. Number one, are you regularly reviewing and updating your business budget and forecast? We want to make sure that we are regularly reviewing our forecasts. See, what we know is that the environment, the ecosystem that we operate in is constantly changing. Now more than ever before. And so you want to make sure that you're continually reassessing and realigning where your budgets and forecasts are. Number one, are you reviewing and updating your budget for your expenses? Number two, do you have a dashboard in place that enables you to know and understand your rolling break-even point? See, break-even is that point in business where you can make enough revenue to cover your expenses. You break even, and then anything beyond that is profitable. And it is crucial to understand your break-even point in your clinic. And so you want to have a dashboard, a tool, a calculator that enables you to know and understand your rolling break-even point and gives you the levers to pull to be able to adjust that. Number three, when it comes to expenses, have you got a clinic-specific profit and loss statement? Not the generic one from the softwares, but do you have a clinic-specific customized profit and loss statement so that you can compare categories of income and expenses and make meaningful decisions? See, a P&L doesn't have to just be alphabetical. It doesn't have to just be what your accountant gives you every quarter or whenever it might be. You want to have a profit and loss statement that is customized for your clinic and the other clinics that are working in best practice. And you want it to be a live working document so that you can review it and make meaningful and timely decisions related to your expenses. And finally, when it comes to expenses, are you regularly and purposefully renegotiating, removing, or reducing expenses on your profit and loss so that you can operate more profitably? We want to consider expenses, not just the investments. Investments are things that make us money, right? It's marketing, it's mentoring, it's your team. They're investments that generate cash flow. We want to review, reduce, renegotiate, or remove the expenses, the overheads in our business, because they directly eat away at profit. And so we mean things like your utilities, your electricity, gas, water, etc. Are you renegotiating these? Are you reducing these? Are you looking for more environmentally friendly options for these? Are there expenses that you can remove or reduce? Are there subscriptions that have gotten out of control or bills that are continually recurring that you could review and reduce or remove? So when it comes to expenses, they are some key strategies. When it comes to your accounts, now this is something that we see clinic owners put their head in the sand around often. And so your accounts payable and accounts receivable. So here we go. Here's top tips for your accounts. Number one, do you have a member of your team dedicated to managing the accounts in your clinic? Do you have a dedicated member of your team that has roles and a position description articulated for them so that accounts are held responsible to someone? Number two, have you documented a procedure for following up outstanding accounts so that your team can follow it? We must have a documented procedure for outstanding accounts. And if you're mostly a cash or private clinic, this may not feel like it's a problem, but it is still an opportunity for you. And conversely, if you're a large clinic working in insurance or a compensable space with third-party payers, you must be across having a documented system for others to follow regarding outstanding accounts. Number three, are you keeping your outstanding accounts below 10% of your monthly income? Now, we're often reticent to put benchmarks out there because they're so internally relevant for you. And so what that means is we say 10%, and that is the ideal. And I'm mindful that some cash clinics may not be anywhere near 10%, and some compensable or third-party payer clinics may be way over 10%. The point is, do you have a system to ensure that you gradually work your outstanding accounts to below 10% of your normal monthly revenue? That's the goal. That's the benchmark. That's the best practice. And so what that means is if your clinic turns over $76,000 a month, then your outstanding accounts should be less than $7,600. Or if you're doing $228,000 a month in appointments, we want to make sure that our outstanding accounts is less than $22,800. Keep it below 10% of your normal monthly income. And finally, are you regularly seeking to extend the time and terms of your accounts payable? So here's the thing. Cash flow is not just inflow and outflow, but as Andy Wang, our mastery partner, would suggest, it's also about time flow and ensuring that your accounts receivable have a short time and your accounts payable have a maximized time. So you want to make sure you're reviewing and extending the times and terms of your accounts payable. Now, we've covered here today expenses and accounts, the E and the A. There are two final sections when it comes to C.R.E.A.T.E, our cash flow methodology, and that's a part of our bigger finance framework that's available for our members inside all of our Clinic Mastery programs. And so if you want to know more about today, if you want to download the associated resources, any of the show notes or links, you can head over to, and get ready, it's clinicmastery.com/podcast. And you can find all of that there. You can also do the Assess Your Clinic scorecard, or you can learn more about Clinic Mastery generally. But if you need help now, if you need to skip the queue, if you want to get in touch directly, you can email me. I'm on the other end. It's a human. It's jack@clinicmastery.com. I would love just to hear from you. Give me some feedback. Let me know that you enjoy the podcast, or at best listen to the podcast. But get in touch. We would love to hear from you, and I can brainstorm with you. We can work out some strategies and systems for you to implement. So you can head to clinicmastery.com/podcast. Get in touch with me, jack@clinicmastery.com. Or finally, we would love it if you reviewed and rated this episode wherever you're watching, listening, or consuming, whether that's on YouTube or on Apple or Spotify or Google Podcasts. Thank you so much for your kind words. We really, really appreciate it. And make sure you get in touch if you need any help. We are here to be the most helpful education mentoring provider for health professionals in business. And we want to help you amplify your impact so that you can build a clinic for good. And that's all from me today. Make sure you tune in for the next episode as we wrap up this finance checklist with the two final categories. Get in touch. But thank you for joining me again today. And I look forward to bringing you another episode again really soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for tuning in to the Grow Your Clinic podcast. To find out more about past episodes or how we can help you, head to www.clinicmastery.com/podcast, and please remember to rate and review us on your podcast player of choice. See you on the next episode.